want to thank you for being here. This moment means so much, not just for me, but for our entire community. This sign is more than metal and words. It is a message to those in pain that they are seen, they are loved, and there is help. It is a public statement of care. A declaration that we are watching out for each other, that no one's struggle is invisible. The Washington Street Bridge has long been a site of concern due to multiple incidents involving suicide or attempts. Dr. Marshala Lee, probably over a year ago, reached out to me and was like, we need to do something. So I partnered with Senator McBride at the time. Now she's our infamous Congresswoman. And we worked on this. And finally, this sign is here. We would love to work on more initiatives of getting nets and having this conversation about suicide in our community. This is not just a ceremony, it's educational. It's time for us to learn, to reflect, and to recommit to building a culture that honors mental health, destigmatizes asking for help, and stands up for those who are suffering in silence. I want to speak directly to anyone who may be struggling, especially right now. Yes, it is hard. Delmarva bills, our rent is going up, the water bill is up, dealing with childhood trauma, and all of these day-to-day costs of just being. It is overwhelming. I know I felt that weight too. I faced my own mental health battles. I was diagnosed with postpartum depression and anxiety about 5 years ago. And I thought about giving up more than once. But I am still here, and I stand here today to say you can be too. Your life has purpose and meaning. Even when everything feels heavy, please remember joy and pleasure are not rewards. They are your right. You deserve peace, not because you earned it, but because you exist. Find joy in the little things, focus on what you do have, and above all, find or build your safe space, whether it's with friends, family, therapy, community, or simply a moment to breathe. You are not alone, and there is help. 988 is more than a number. It's a path to healing. The sign in this gathering is a symbol of our community saying we care and we're not letting go. So again, I want to say thank you for everyone who's here. We'll have Mayor John Carney. He'll be speaking. We also have Jennifer Antonik from DJ's Alliance, where she'll share her lived experience and highlight critical community-based support programs. And then also Dr. Marshala Lee-McCall from ChristianaCare, and who also even pushed this initiative to even exist. Without her phone call, without her emails and our conversations, this would not have happened. And we'll also have Kevin Oates, the supervisor of student services from Shortridge Academy. So I want to say thank you again for guys for being here, and I'm going to pass the mic over to Mayor John Carney.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Darby, and thank you all for being here on this beautiful day in a very familiar place with a very heavy message and purpose. Thank you to Councilwoman Darby and all the community partners who are here with us and who are doing this work. This unveiling is not just about a sign, it's about sending a really clear message. There is help and there is hope. For far too many individuals and families, suicide has a lasting impact. I just can't imagine how I would feel if one of the members of my family had committed suicide. It's a terrible feeling that cuts across neighborhoods, across backgrounds, and across generations. As mayor of this great city and as a lifelong Delawarean, I've heard from families who've lost loved ones to suicide, and I've seen the pain that follows and the silence that often surrounds it. Mental health challenges are real, and for far too long they've been stigmatized or overlooked. That has to change. This initiative reminds us that we have a responsibility to meet people where they are, with compassion, with resources, and with the willingness to talk openly about what too many suffer through alone. This signage, directing people to the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, is just one step, but it's a powerful step, because the right message at the right time can save a life. The right message at the right time can save a life. It can be the bridge, literally and figuratively, between despair and hope. And that is what today is about, ensuring that anyone in crisis knows that they are not alone, that help is just a call or a text away. And so I'd like to recognize again Councilwoman Darby, all the members of council, those in city government, and all the partners, some of whom you're going to hear from in a minute, for the work that you're doing on this very important issue. And so to everyone here, thank you for being part of a community that cares here in our city of Wilmington.
My name is Jennifer Antonik. I wear many hats, but today I'm here as the founder and executive director of DJ's Alliance. We support loved ones who have lost someone to suicide. Before I became the founder and executive director of that great organization, I had to experience loss. I lost my husband and the father of our 3 young children 3.5 years ago to suicide. And I can tell you, Mayor Carney, it's a hollowness right here deep in your gut. It's that guttural metal music scream that a widow feels in the middle of the street when she finds out that her partner and her best friend has died by suicide, and he didn't have a sign that he felt he could call on. And so I want to thank Councilwoman Darby and Dr. Lee and everyone else who made sure that this effort is a priority. DJ's Alliance came to be because we didn't have the community and state infrastructure we needed to really support people like myself and my kids. My kids are now 10, 14, and 15, so you can imagine they were a lot younger when their father passed. And the mama bear in me got really angry that we had to go out of state to find support when we had our loss. And you think, I'm talking from the loss side of it, but even when you're dealing with that loss, it's not, a lot of people don't think it's preventative measures to support somebody, but in that moment, I was going through a mental health crisis, having lost my partner, having lost the father of my kids, and I needed a sign also. I needed support, and we didn't have it. Just to give you a couple of data points, research says that for every one suicide, up to 35 people are severely affected by that one suicide. For every one suicide, up to 135 people are impacted or exposed to that suicide. And you think those numbers are compounded. In a tight-knit community like Wilmington, or in a school community, in a church community, those numbers aren't 35 and 135 anymore. They're hundreds. So when we look at that research, Mayor Carney, during your reign as governor for 20 years, between 2002 and 2022, so many people were exposed to a suicide in Delaware, it would be about 30% of our current population. And we didn't have support for them either before their suicide or after. And so I commend this effort as a start. This is an amazing start. At DJ's Alliance, we get calls from people who have lost loved ones, as well as community members who have heard about a suicide. There was a month recently, we got 1 call a week about a suicide that happened on a bridge in Delaware. 1 call a week. That's a lot for a small community in Delaware. And they were all up here because from where I'm at, Kent, Sussex, we don't have a whole lot of bridges down there. But I just really think that this is amazing. And like I said, it's an amazing start, but it shouldn't be the last step. We have a long, long road to go, but this is an exciting step. So thank you very much for the work that you're doing.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Marshala Lee-McCall, and I have the pleasure of serving as a family medicine physician at ChristianaCare and the school doc at Shoreditch Elementary right around the corner. I am honored to join you today for this important and solemn occasion during Mental Health Awareness Month. We gather here not just to unveil the sign at the bridge today, but to raise a sign of hope for those battling despair, depression, and silence. These signs are more than metal ink. They are lifelines. They represent our shared belief that every life matters and that no one should suffer alone or in the dark. The Washington Street Bridge has long connected communities, but today it now connects something even greater: our compassion and commitment to suicide prevention. For far too long, bridges have symbolized both passage and pain. Today we change that narrative. Let this be the day that we say, you are not alone. Help is here and hope is real. As a physician and health equity advocate, I see firsthand the devastating toll that mental health challenges and suicide have had on families, especially in underserved and marginalized communities. African Americans are increasingly affected, with suicide rates increasing, especially among our youth. And still, too many suffer in silence due to stigma, lack of access, and systemic barriers. 2 years ago, I stood right behind us in the sun for about 3 hours, praying and trying my best to comfort one of our community partners in crisis. Thank you, Principal Ashton, in her absence, for answering my phone call. She came to my support immediately to assist our family. We were successful in stopping that suicide attempt, but I wanted and needed to do more in order to stop others. I'm thankful for City Councilwoman Darby for also answering my call and reaching out to stakeholders to support this cause. This signage is just one step, but it's a bold one. It says to anyone standing on this bridge, we see you, we care, and call for help. It says to families who've lost loved ones, your pain is not forgotten, and it reminds all of us that suicide is preventable when we lead with empathy, policy, and action. As we look ahead, let us remember that mental health is health, asking for help is a sign of strength, and everyone deserves access to support and love. Let this sign guide us, not just on this bridge, but in every policy, every medical office, every classroom, every community. Together we build bridges to healing, to equity, and to a future where no one feels like their only option is to end their life. Thank you. Let's continue to be the sign someone needs.
Good morning. My name is Kenny Oates. I am the supervisor of student services for Red Clay Consolidated School District, and I am very thankful for this opportunity to speak today. And I want to share just a little bit of information about some school-specific resources that we provide not just to our students, but to our broader school community. One of the goals in Red Clay is to make sure that all of our students, our staff, and our community members are equipped with the knowledge to recognize mental health challenges, to be able to find support, and to take steps towards their mental health wellness. Some of the things that we really focus on is working to remove the barriers for students and families who are experiencing mental health challenges by making sure that we implement things such as social emotional learning programming in our schools, that we provide staffing to make sure that we can address any issues that arise at our schools by way of having school counselors, school psychologists, and social workers available on the ground to respond to students who are in crisis. We make sure that we have a solid structure to do risk assessments for our students in Red Clay. So that way, when they have challenges, they know that there are folks in that building who are there to support them and to guide them to the resources that they can have access to in order to improve their mental health and wellness. More specifically, we really do work on making sure our students understand that they have access to resources beyond the community as well. So we definitely highlight access to 988. We also steer our students into the direction of the University of Delaware Sean's House, the Tyler Project, as well as NAMI Delaware, and a variety of other resources, so that way they can access the resources that are necessary for them in order to address their mental health and wellness. I think that this is a great initiative, and I am very grateful to be a part of this today. If you have any questions about any of the resources that I just discussed, please make sure that you visit our website at redclayschools.com at the Department of Special Services, and you can get links and phone numbers, contact information for individuals at all of those organizations to support you on your journey to mental health wellness. Thank you very much.
So thank you again for all of our speakers, for all of our community partners who came out here this morning. So I think it's time to unveil the sign. So I just pull a screen or a string, or how did this work?
Father Day is coming up, ma'am. Ma'am, please. We got a couple of gotta be like that.